Hey everyone, me again. Excuse the nasally voice, still sick. However, I did want to show you guys the stuff that I got from the Temperature Rising MAC collection. Ignore my no makeup. I don't want to do my makeup because I'm sick. So let's get started on what I got. I ended up only getting 3 things. There were a couple of other things I had my eye on, but my favorite thing out of the collection was this palette, and I had a budget, and this alone was $44. However, because it was my very, very favorite thing from the collection, I didn't want to leave it behind. So here's the palette. It's called Bare My Soul, and look how beautiful those colors are. It kind of reminds me of like a peacocky kind of palette. And beautiful, beautiful colors. This one here, when I first saw it, reminded me very much of Club, which is a permanent color that I have, and so I almost thought, oh, this is probably going to be a pass for me. I ended up swatching the colors all together, and this one especially surprised me, so I'm going to go ahead and swatch these. I'll start off with this one here. This is kind of like a taupey shimmer color. It's not super pigmented, but I think it's meant to be more of like a highlight color when you use all these colors together. So you can build it up, but it's got a beautiful taupey sheen to it. And I'm a really big fan, despite the fact that it doesn't pack a lot of color punch. It's a very pretty color. It's like a lighter, more champagne shroom is the best way to put it. Sorry, not shroom. Is it shroom? I think that's the one I mean. Then there's this kind of almost goldish color. Do these have names? Yeah, I guess it's called, this one's Romantico, and this one's Bare My Soul. And Bare My Soul is this very pretty light gold color, so you can see the sheen there. These are, by the way, super soft and glide on really nicely, so they'd blend really well. So there it is again. So it catches the light beautifully. Very, very fun goldish color that I think you could really build up. I think the 2 colors that are meant to be the like the life of the party are meant to be these 2 colors, which are Friendly and When in Rio. So Friendly already looks like a very beautiful bronzy kind of color, and that's exactly what it is. It's a beautiful bronze brown with a hint of a sheen, which you can kind of see there. And now you can see all 3 of those together, how pretty they are. And wait till you see When in Rio. It really pulls everything together. When in Rio is this color right there, and I'm gonna have to build it up so that you can see that really cool duochrome, but that duochrome is amazing. It's very similar to Club, but darker, and the duochrome is way more obvious. You can see it right there, and when I get up closer, there it is again. So, so, so pretty. It's like what I always wanted Club to be, and it never was. This is what it is. You can see it on my finger as well. Such a pretty duochrome. So When in Rio is what sold me, because all of the colors actually perform really well. They swatch well, they blend well, and this here totally sold me on it. I love this palette of colors as well. It's going to make for a really fun smoky eye with unexpected colors, and you can get, different types of looks from this. So I really felt like the $44 for it wasn't really crazy, which is why I was willing to get it as part of what I was going to purchase, even with my budget. So that was one of the things that I got. The second thing that I got was something else that I knew I was not going to leave behind. The other palette that came out with this didn't impress me, and the other blush that came out with this didn't impress me except for Ripe for Love. Ripe for Love is a pretty peachy pink. It's very wearable, and it's very soft when you swatch it, and it's buildable. Very, very nicely buildable. And it's a very natural color that's just good for every day. There you go. So as you can see, it doesn't look exactly true to pan because this looks a little pinker. Once you put it on, you can really see the peach. I think on someone who's maybe cool toned, you'll see more of the pink, but on me, it just looks a little peachier. I really love the color. I can't really think of anything that's come out recently that looks exactly like it. It's even got a little bit of a sheen, like the smallest bit of a sheen, but it's really nice. I'm a big fan of this. I feel like most of the colors that look kind of similar to this have been lacking in pigment. And that's not the case with this. Like, this is something that I know I can kind of like swipe on and just like run out the door. Whereas, like, some of the really beautiful peachy colors that have come out in the collections recently have really lacked a color punch. And I feel like I really need to build them to see the color. That's not the case with this. The other blush that came out with this collection was kind of like a fuchsia pink. I wasn't really a fan of it. I swatched it and it just didn't really impress me. I think I don't usually tend to go for really bright fuchsia pink colors on my cheeks. I think I more lean towards fun corals and peaches and stuff like that. So that's just personal preference. That blush consistency and pigment was very, very similar to this, if not more pigmented than this. So that's not to say that it's not a good performing blush. It's just not my cup of tea. So there were 4 lip glosses that came out with this collection. I only got one, and it was this nudie color. The reason I ended up getting it was because it's so pigmented. It is really opaque in one swipe. Like, look at that. It's going to be really great for I bought all 3 of these with the same idea. This blush palette, or this eyeshadow palette, will go really well with this blush, which will go really well with this nude lip gloss, because you're going to be doing some kind of smoky eye with this, right? So all 3 of these just pair so well. So that was my logic when I was purchasing these 3 things, is that I don't really have a really great opaque neutral nudie lip gloss. I have a couple of things that I use and that I have been using, hoping that I'll eventually find something like this, and then this finally came out and I'm really glad because I love it. I think it'll be really great to just do like a lip liner, like do I have one here? I'm trying to think of which one I like to use when I'm doing neutral lips. Let's see, there it is. So Have to Have It is a really great one, and there's another one, I believe it's called Bare My Soul or something like that. I can't really find it, but I think that's it. So Bare My Soul is a really good one. If you wanted to go more drugstore, another really good one is the Boots No. 7 color in what's this one called? Oh, it's just called Nude, but that's a really, really great nude color as well. You can see a swatch right there. So you just put on like a little, a little bit of lip liner, maybe fill in, and then end with this. It just gives you a really good, shiny, long-lasting nude for when you're doing a smoky eye. So super fun. Really excited about all 3 of the things that I purchased. Along with the collection, there were also a lot of bronzers. I own, I think, all of them, so I didn't even take a second look, although I was a really big fan of the packaging. With these, you can see it's not the usual MAC packaging. It's brown bronze, and it has a hint of a like almost duochrome to it. You can see it right there. And they have a rubberized feel, almost like NARS packaging, but less likely to stain. Like, it doesn't really hold on to color to it, like, because I have color on my hands right now, and it's not really holding on to that, but still really nifty. So the other pieces in the collection have this as well. Like, this packaging also has that kind of like brown coloring, and so does this right here. So everything in the collection has that. It's really cool. I almost considered getting a bronzer compact just so that I could reuse the compact for other stuff, but again, I needed to stay within my budget, so I didn't get it. But it's really, really nifty packaging. So if you're looking for something like that you can reuse later, that's something to look at. The bronzer would be really good for putting in like your studio fix or something like that. And let's see, then there were color pencils that came out with it. I almost got 2 of those. I ended up not, because I wanted to, again, stay within my budget, but there were 2 that were really cool. And then there were 2 that were just kind of not up my alley, but they all were really beautiful colors and went on super creamy. And from talking to the makeup artist that worked there, said that they dry really quickly, so you kind of have to smudge them right away, but they're beautiful as bases. And no one had really tested them as a eyeshadow alone, so I can't really speak to that, but everyone at the MAC counter said that they're beautiful bases and they work really well, especially with the eye palettes that are in the collection. So Sorry, I feel like I have to sneeze. Okay. This is what happens when you make videos and you're sick. Yeah, that's everything that I got from the collection. If you guys have any questions, let me know and put them in the comments. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!